Do you mind? Yeah, sure. 1 second. Okay, now I'm ready. Thanks. All right. Um, when I was 9 years old, I was in my prime time of creativity. I was making up a lot of stories and I was drawing a lot. And I always had my pen case with me with a lot of different colors and different pens and markers. At the age of 22, I went to the university. And the next coming 4 years, I became really good at studying large chunks of text. I was doing my reports, essays, and doing my exams. And I also became a master of forgetting. Because actually I had a study technique, maybe you guys recognize it. I was studying really intensely, like the days before and especially the night before, like this. And so I passed my exams. It's just that, well, I don't remember much of it now in life, let's say. Today I'm sharing with you a little bit about my personal revelations about my poor memory. And maybe you recognize something. And also I'm sharing with you how I'm innovating my brain to remember more and also to help others to understand me better and remember more, hopefully. You have 3 items. You have it in text and you have it in visuals. In 72 hours, you'll remember 65% of the visuals you've seen. And you'll remember only 10% of the text. This is called the picture superiority effect. And did you know that our brain can process visuals 60,000 times faster than text? So take, for example, emojis that have become super popular, of course. It's a Japanese concept as well, emojis like Pecha, Kucha very much. So they're popular, and of course, why not? Because emojis help us to communicate quicker, and you understand each other much quicker as well. Like, for example, I can send this kind of face to somebody instead of writing like this into sentences, you know? So that's kind of great. And in a way, the visual revolution has already been going on for quite some time. We have Instagram, we have Snapchat, and they work really well. Why? Because visuals are so powerful. They help us to communicate more effectively and make connections. Because in the end, the brain is all about making connections to memorize. And at the same time, at least in my experience these past years, I'm going to meetings and conferences that are largely based on text and words. 90%, I would say, except for today. And so it's like, you know, you go to school, you become really good at reading and writing, and then you come out into the work life and you work with protocols and reports and PowerPoints and bullet points. But at the same time, our brains work really more effectively with visuals. So the prehistoric times, for example, at that time, we were really good at communicating in images. We told stories using simple symbols. Can I ask you guys in here, actually, who in here feels comfortable just taking a marker and going in front of a whiteboard? Can you just raise your hand if you feel comfortable going in front of a whiteboard? Yeah, okay. So that's kind of good, actually. That's like 40%. Well, I belong to the 60% that kept their hands down. I haven't been so comfortable in front of a whiteboard, actually. And I could blame my education for it. You know, for example, why isn't art class more useful? You know? But instead, I have decided to take control and innovate my brain. So I am activating my visual brain, and you guys can do it too. I'm going to give you a quick advice here, for example. You have a report that you have to read maybe in the next coming days. So imagine one page and just visualize an image in front of you. It could be like a giant burger, in 3D preferably. So just visualize that burger while you're reading page 1, and then for the page 2, I don't know, visualize a falafel. Well, you get my point. Try it. It really works. And this guy, Matthias Ribbing, he's actually kind of my hero. He's a Swedish master of memory. So go check him out if you want some great advice as well on that. So activate your visual thinking, and then you want to communicate a really great idea, or you want to talk about your new company vision. There are two things to think about. One, if you have to make a PowerPoint presentation, don't worry. It's fine, just use images. And you can also use text, of course. Just try to use them in headings and avoid using font size number 12 or 8, Okay? That's really good. Secondly, build your visual literacy. Because once you have started this visual thinking, you want to find a way to get it out in your hand, right? You want to become that whiteboard master. And you can do it. There's a simple way, in fact. Start with the visual alphabet. Draw lines, draw circles, draw dots, draw squares, draw triangles. Do it a lot of times. And you start getting the hang of it. You start doing the grammar and putting things together in a flow. And you start talking visually. Innovate your brain, activate your visual thinking, and act on it. Remember, I hope. And you can get more information if you want by following me, Mina Legend, aka the Mina.
That was a legendary speech. And I could relate to every single word that he's told, especially since I'm an engineer. I had to do exactly all the torture you went through, and it would have been useful to see your talk a little bit before, and I could visualize them more in studying, because that's what we need to remember.
The next generation.
Well, we need you to hang out a long time more. Thank you very much, Mina.
Thank you so much.